America on the world stage. President Trump is here in Davos this morning with his America First agenda. He is set to meet with a slew of world leaders and address the World Economic Forum tomorrow. Joining me right now is Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross. Secretary, great to see you.
Good to see you, Maria.
Thank you so much for joining us. What has been the reaction to you? You've been here now a few days. Are you getting a positive reaction from some of your international counterparts?
Absolutely. In fact, surprisingly, there's a growing recognition that the world trade system needs to be fixed. I had a big panel discussion yesterday, including the head of the WTO, head of Cargill, head of Standard Chartered. And I asked them a simple question, because they were all claiming we were protectionists. I said, name me the country that is less protectionist than we are. They had no answer. And they ultimately agreed that there are things that need to be fixed. There are abuses. WTO needs to change some of its ways. It's the first time I've seen overt recognition of that.
You know, one of the issues I think that people talk about with regard to NAFTA is when it was done, it was sort of a welcome invitation for corporate America to say, okay, I'm going to build a factory in Mexico, I'm going to hire cheap labor, and then I'm going to sell the products back to the U.S. That was one deal, but it became the template for all deals, didn't it?
Well, it did. Remember, if you go way back into ancient history, after World War II, it was deliberate U.S. policy to help these countries recover from the ravages of the war. And in those days, we had big trade surpluses. In fact, we had them into the 1970s, so we could afford it. So there was a conscious policy of encouraging those people and helping them export to us. Might have been a good policy at the time, but concessions that were appropriate to make to Germany and China in the 1940s are no longer relevant. And so the mistake was not to time limit them.
So why do you think markets are so nervous about what you may or may not do regarding NAFTA?
I think for several reasons. One, I think the media have totally blown it out of proportion. But more importantly, business hates uncertainty.
That's true.
You can adjust to good news, you can adjust to bad news. Uncertainty is scary to people.
Yeah, but part of the issue, look at one of the lead stories in the Journal this morning, Secretary Ross, and that is LG telling retailers it plans to raise prices on washers and dryers after the administration said they were going to slap these tariffs on washing machines and solar panels. We're seeing a response.
Well, that's a natural response. Anytime that you correct people dumping things at illegitimately low prices, there will be an impact on price. That's a normal thing. But unless you feel that Americans have a God-given right to dump purchases at the expense of jobs, makes no sense. So I don't blame them for putting in some sort of a price increase. More importantly, both LG and Samsung have begun building huge factories here, one in Tennessee, one in South Carolina. That's what the Trump trade policies are really all about.
That's really a good point, actually. I mean, are we now going to see washing machines from overseas higher priced than U.S.? I mean, is it now an easy sell to actually buy American?
I don't think that it'll be a higher price, but it doesn't have to be. All it has to be is a fair price. And there was no reason we should accept dumped product before. There's no reason now. But as I say, the better news is they're both building enormous. I went to the openings of both factories, the groundbreaking. Huge amount of acreage, huge amounts of plants going up, and one of them has already started shipping from America. Now, what they also did very intelligently to prepare for this, they both brought in a lot of parts before this action was taken. They both brought in quite a lot of washing machines before the action was taken. So they were preparing themselves. This is hardly a shock to anybody.
Yeah, I know. And also, by the way, the president really choreographed this during the campaign and after the inauguration, saying he wants fair trade. He's been saying it all along.
This is not a sneak attack. Yeah. This is part of a normal programmed activity.
Now, the president also said, look, we're looking at aluminum, we're looking at steel. Should we be expecting tariffs there?
Well, as you know, I submitted the 232 reports, both on aluminum and on steel. Steel first and then aluminum a week or so ago. He has about 90 days left And during that period, he'll consider what to do.
Well, you obviously have been in the front row seat of this issue in terms of steel. As a private businessman, your career. Is there dumping going on in steel?
Oh, incredible. Incredible amount. In fact, I have a chart that shows time zones from about 2000 to the present. Increases in world capacity, increases in Chinese capacity, and then superimposed on that is a little box each time China said they would do something about cutting capacity. And the only thing that didn't change is the ascendancy of their amount of capacity.
You know, I was talking with Gene Sperling recently, who, of course, worked for the Obama administration, and he said, look, when you put tariffs on these kinds of things, you're not just attacking Asia. You're going to basically say Germany, you know, a number of countries in Europe that we're buying these products from. So is that the case, or is this just...
Well, it all depends. We have proposed to the president a variety of kinds of actions that he could take in either case. Then he will select from among them or choose something different.
What has been the impact so far of this announcement? Have you already seen an impact in terms of markets?
You mean the 232s or the washing machines?
Well, both.
Well, the washing machines, I think it's a good thing. It's an important thing. We cannot allow our companies to be destroyed by unfair competition. If it's a level playing field and they can make a better product and a cheaper product, fine, then they should win. They shouldn't win just because they're subsidized and dumping.